people want to pay for results, and you can't just do that.
Ego is usually the defining factor of people who are entrepreneurial, who want to try and win in this capacity.
I didn't have anyone to like look up to and be like, yo, stop being a dumbass.
There's an increasing trend toward people kind of being shit.
You have to always follow with what everyone's talking about. You have to follow the trend, bro.
This is the opposite of what a lot of people tell me. A lot of people are like, oh, you know, I put up with the exposure because it makes me money. You're saying, no, the act of recording yourself is actually an asset to you. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Herman's podcast, where I talk to builders and people who I think we can learn a lot from. Today we're speaking to Orangie, who is a gamer, a content creator, a trader, kind of an entrepreneur, and also recently beat the shit out of somebody on camera, which we will cover as well. So, well, welcome to the podcast. And look, I've been looking forward to having like someone who is, in my opinion, more of a crossover between an entrepreneur and a content creator than just a content creator on this thing for a while, because it's the whole other side of the business that, you know, I've been talking about with people building businesses in Web3. Yeah, other thing, there we go. It's a whole discussion. But maybe you want to introduce yourself a little bit. I mean, I'm sure most people know who you are, but good to hear from your perspective.
Cool. What's up, guys? I'm Orangie. I grew up playing professional video games. I went pretty big and pro in Fortnite. I grew a YouTube channel to 150K subscribers, a Twitch channel to over 50K followers, and I was competing in Fortnite for many years of my life. Used all the money I made from Fortnite, put it into NFTs, made some money, lost it all, round tripped everything. Stuck around in the crypto industry, and then kind of just got into crypto gaming, and then eventually memecoins. That's like a TLDR.
And there's so much more as well. Like, but why? I guess my big question, you know, is why pick this path? You know, you're obviously really, really entrepreneurial, so you could do 100 different things. Why this?
Yeah. Well, bro, to be honest, like, it's not like I picked this because, like, at first I loved it or anything. I had just, like, succeeded in this. But I tried many different things that didn't succeed. So
talk about it. What didn't work?
I mean, there's a million different things.
I've
tried building AI chatbots, ChatGPT competitors, you know, just rappers. I've tried building, you know, social media agencies. I've tried building YouTube cash cows, Fortnite maps, Roblox maps, everything that you could do as like a teenager hustler, like watching all these how to make money online YouTube videos growing up.
Yeah, I can relate. You know, I had a lot of not very successful things before, you know, Improbable sort of took off. But like, what ultimately is a driving force here? Was it money? Is it desire for people to know who you are? Is it both of those things? I mean, like, what fundamentally is making you push this hard?
I mean, growing up and like watching, you know, different YouTubers and being like the gaming space, you always kind of like want to be like whoever you're watching, right? Like I always wanted to be like the FaZe guys. You know, I grew up watching them. So yeah, it was like letting everyone know who I was, like kind of like just being a well-known creator was like the goal. And then obviously I was able to just like be in this industry and the money kind of just came along. But the main focus was you know, being like well-known.
Do you think of yourself as running a business? And if you do, like, what is the business plan? Like, do you focus on the idea of just growing audience, or is there a destination you're trying to get to?
You know, I'm just trying to grow my audience every single day. Just trying to make the Orangie brand as mainstream as possible, and whatever comes along the way type of thing.
There's been some controversies like in the space around memecoins, etc. You've done really well out of it. You know, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, because on the one hand, I kind of think, okay, everyone's an adult. This is part of the process of building great things. Crypto's about freedom, and some of that freedom can mean people lose money as well as make money. The other part of me thinks, actually, a lot of this stuff is super exploitative, but like, I don't know where I sit. Like, you know, you've seen fellow streamers and content creators put their names out on coins and it's not gone super well. I'm curious how you think about all that.
Right. I mean, bro, to be honest, yeah, like you said, like everyone makes their own decisions. And I mean, I'm a big like on-chain lover. Like I think there's always going to be different opportunities to trade. Meme coins was like one of the things that they come and go in different like volume waves. But it's just like NFTs or like any other, if you want to say, like, gambling opportunity that there is on chain.
There are people who say that it's going to be like athletics almost. That like being a trader is, at least a visible public trader, is almost a sport.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone wants to be a trader. I mean, we've seen like one of my good friends, his name is TJR. He's like a day trader, more stocks. He's gone like super mainstream in the last year. Everybody does want to be a trader, just not meme coin specifically, but it's just like the addiction of like the charts and like being able to make money with it.
You're honestly a really good gamer. Like, I say this painfully as somebody who used to be good at games, but I'm sure I can't compete today. But like, this is back in the Halo 3 era of like gaming. You were probably like
I played Halo.
Yeah. Oh, really? Right. Way back when.
I was
Okay.
grinding Forge, making different Halo Reach
Oh
maps.
man, what a time that was.
Yeah.
But how much is being a competitive gamer influenced trying to be a great streamer? And I mean, in terms of the business side of it.
Right. I mean, it's been everything, right? Like, meme coins. The biggest advantage I had was just being used to being chronically online. First of all, like the 12+ hour days wasn't anything new because I had grown up with it. Um, just like and yeah, just being able to keep up with like that, like I guess like new gen pop culture from like Fortnite and stuff, and just say yeah, being online, fast reaction times, and being yeah,
How do
like
you
that
feel?
translate.
Have you kind of taken the audience on this journey of transformation with you?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, anyone who's been watching me since day one has seen me, you know, compete in many different games, into like NFTs, into like blogging, into meme coins, and into whatever comes next.
It's weird because a lot of the people I spoke to about you before this, they're kind of rooting for you. It's really unusual. Well, normally with like big content creators, people have a sort of degree of respect. But it's weird. It's almost like a reality TV show where people want you to win. Why do you think that is? Is it something you've cultivated, or is it part of the personality you're building as a product, or is it just you?
I don't know. It's like a selfish question
No, but
to answer.
yeah, no, but you got. I mean, I think it's
Uh,
helpful for people to see like how.
no, I think that with building my brand, I've always been like super transparent about everything, and I think people have really liked that. Like I have documented me, whether it's like at the beginning of the year, I always film a video talking about everything I achieved in the year and what I want to achieve in the next year, and these videos have like really come true, and people have like seen me speak these things into existence, and I've documented everything super publicly. Like when I built my trading community, when we made our first dollar, I have that on video, and then when we made our first $1 million, I have that on video. And I've always spoken about this, and because I think that anyone can do it, and like yeah, I just want to like inspire many people. That's like the biggest thing to me. It's inspire other people the way that I was inspired by creators.
It's not zero sum for you. I mean, when you're not beating the shit out of somebody, it seems like you're actually quite. You want other people to win, and that comes across in a lot of the clips and things. Like you're doing it with your audience. You're not doing it against your audience,
Yeah.
and you're not even doing it for your audience. Like again, like is that a family thing? Is that something you grew up with? Like where does that come from? It's rare. Like I don't know that I feel that way. I feel very competitive. Like I want to win sometimes at the expense of the people I'm competing with. But
I feel like there's enough of the pie to go around, and that everyone should be able to experience the things that I've experienced. I guess I am like a big family guy too. Like anywhere that I go, I'm always thinking like, oh, X and Y and Z would love this as well. Like I always want to be able to share these things with other people.
it's rare, right? Because ego is usually the defining factor of people who are entrepreneurial, who want to try and win in this capacity. You have a lot of the signals of somebody with high ego, right? You play competitive games, you trade, you're in the trenches in different ways, yet you're also kind of willing sometimes to even laugh at yourself. And you seem pretty open to the idea that this journey is going to be one where you get a little bit humiliated, like along the way.
Yeah.
Again, like, is this like being raised a certain way? Did
No,
you
I mean,
change
bro, I've gone through the ego thing, right? Like I used to think I was like even back to my Fortnite days, like I would argue with my teammates all the time. Like there wasn't a play where I did something wrong. We would sit there and like review our like VODs, like review our gameplay, and like I couldn't see anything I did wrong. I was always like so tunnel vision. I'm like, no, I did it right. Like you are wrong. And I was always like, I enjoyed playing solos a lot more. Like I hate, like I didn't really like playing like team based game modes. I always performed better in solos. I guess I kind of rolled over to business too. And then like during the NFT hype, I didn't have like many friends that I was trading NFTs with, right? Everybody was just like these alpha group people that I was meeting, and it was like really temporary relationships. And eventually, bro, that led to me like not having like a mentor, right? I didn't have anyone to like look up to and be like, yo, stop being a dumbass. Like you're just gonna.
So you just have to figure it out through
Yeah, exactly.
to the world, like punishing it back.
I kind of just figured it out, and when NFTs happened, I made a lot of money, and then I lost everything. And during that time where I was like looking up these YouTube videos on how to make money online, I stumbled across particularly this one YouTuber, Iman Gaji, and I bought his he sold a course. I bought his social media agency course, and he was like the person who I looked up to, I guess. And I was like, he was like my mentor. Like every YouTube video I watched, like I just wanted to kind of like be like.
So you actually got value out of that stuff, because a lot of people, I think, look at it, especially like maybe a little bit older, and they're like, "Oh, is this stuff really worth it? Is it scammy?" Like,
Yeah.
but you found.
I mean, I've bought over 10 courses and mentorships. I've spent over $100,000 on mentorships.
Holy shit! And you found this stuff is super useful.
No, I mean, like 95% of the stuff is the amount of work that you're willing to put in yourself. I bought a lot of these courses, and I never even took a look at them. And that's like the same thing with everyone. Most mentorships it isn't the actual product that's bad. It's the amount of effort someone's willing to put in. People want to pay for results, and you can't just do that.
I mean, I know exactly.
You gotta want it.
I know how you feel. It's weird. We have a lot of strange similarities. Like even in the gaming side, like when I played a lot of competitive Halo, I would shoot through my own team, right? If somebody was in the way, it would be like body shot to them, headshot to somebody else. Like, why not? But like, I was getting to know my co-founders that transformed my way of thinking. You know, one of our values became relentless humility. Why? Because if you have that many great people, the only way to work with them is to be really not up yourself. Otherwise, the whole thing is going to fall apart. But it's interesting. Like, I think there isn't enough appreciation for how pro gaming can actually be a way into entrepreneurship and a way into building.
Yeah.
But look, what you do, one of the things I think from a business perspective, people might feel is like it doesn't scale or can only scale to a certain level. Do you think a day will come when you have to think about this in a different way, where you maybe grow your audience large enough and actually you want to start businesses on top of that audience, go back to some of the ideas maybe you had, you know, that didn't work out or that, you know, were signals of what you want to build?
Yeah. So when you mean like you can cap how, what do you mean?
As in there's a maximum amount of upside you could make
in what?
As a content creator, right? Yeah.
Okay.
And some of the biggest content creators have then started businesses, right? Off the back of that.
Yes.
I'm curious if that's a path you want to go down.
Of course. I feel like this is like the obvious pathway. Like I'm not making content for the. I love making content. I love looking back at videos. Like my thing with content is you can look back at your memories, like literally, like
it's like your life. You're living. I mean, absolutely. You're vlogging as you go. Like you live it. You're not. It's not something where you turn off. You're always doing it.
Yes, I'm a big like videography and photography. Like I think like you're capturing these moments. So like that's my number one like passion. Everything else that comes with it is an upside. Like, yes, I will eventually build a business. Yes, I want to have a product in a mall. Yes, I want to have a restaurant. Yes, I want to do all the things that all these big guys do. Like one of my current favorite, I guess, like people I'm looking up to right now is like Logan Paul, and he's on like the Prime playbook.
It's kind of wild. He's a VC now.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like wild. And he's into some like AI companies at a really early stage. Like, yeah, as a VC, that's kind of worrying for me that a content creator can do it better in fact.
Right. I mean, well, bro, like think about the amount of leverage that like you have as a creator. Like people want attention. Attention is the new economy. Like everyone has, not everyone, but like you can raise money from like pretty much any VC, but you need attention to like really win.
Distribution is the hard part. I mean, like in video games now, it's $40 a user to get a person to play a game for free. $40 a user. So like if a content creator can make that cost lower, if you have an audience that really matters. I've noticed a lot of audiences are quite like, we've done deals with content creators and some of them
doesn't care.
Yeah, some of them are like very passive audiences. Some of them are very loyal. Some of them are like frankly scary, right? In terms of their level of devotion. Is there a particular kind of audience quality you're trying to cultivate?
I have different types of audience on every social media platform.
That's really interesting. So you actually think of them as different fan bases.
It is.
People don't go between them in quite the same way.
Some people do, but I have a goal on every social media platform, and I cultivate my content around all these platforms differently. And the ones that's most important to me is always going to be like, they watch my YouTube videos on how to trade crypto, right? They will join my Discord server, and in there I can kind of cultivate this person into like, and kind of just try to send them on the path that I think is best. And, hopefully, even if like the meme coin stuff doesn't work out, hopefully they can stick around the crypto industry long enough to find something that does work out.
Another meta or another. Right. I mean, right now it's predictions.
Exactly.
Last week or something else. But
exactly. And hopefully they just appreciate I like to say I'm a pretty chill guy. So
quite direct as well. Like I'd say, like looking at some of your content, like you're very you're not jumping around the topic.
Hopefully they appreciate that and kind of just want to, I guess, learn more from me long term, and I can kind of be that mentor that I have in other YouTubers.
So one of the things I'm talking to a lot of the guests about and thinking about is that I believe we're in a singularity right now. I think we're in a world where, I mean, I think just before, from when we booked this to now, Gemini 3 came out into it, Gemini 3 Pro, and now another model dropped yesterday, which is, I haven't even had time to check it out, but it's like even more advanced. And so I think it's a fair bet that most jobs that people do today are going to be changed pretty dramatically. A lot of people aren't going to have a career path who are in university or wherever now. A lot of people are probably thinking about content creation as like maybe the salvation. Obviously, everyone can't be a content creator, but some people will be able to create value in that context. How realistic do you think, you said anyone can do it a little while ago. Is that really true? Who can, who can't? And also, how does AI or at least this massive transformation affect your job?
Right.
Like we are going to see fully automated content creators. I'm curious how you're preparing for that or thinking about that.
I'll answer the first part of the question. I do think anybody can pick up a camera and start recording videos. I think the monetization aspect of it is very different. Like, I think anybody can be a creator. Anybody can document their life. Anybody, like, you should do this either way. Like, whether or not you want to be a creator or not, like, just being able to look back at your life and all these moments that you kind of have is a great thing, you know?
This is the opposite of what a lot of people tell me. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I put up with the exposure because it makes me money. You're saying, no, the act of recording yourself is actually an asset to you.
I mean,
that's a really beautiful thought, like that it's remembered forever.
Right. Not everybody can be an entrepreneur though. Like not everybody will like know how to monetize it. But I mean, if you blow up enough on the creator side, you can have somebody kind of come in and help you with that. Second part of your question is yes, I mean 100% we're going to have AI influencers and content creators, like no doubt. But people are always going to want like that human relationship, and especially bro, like anyone who's been building their brand the last 10 years like I have is going to have a huge head start because like people already know my face and they can kind of trust me. And yeah, I mean there will be a new AI person making better content, but like you're always going to want that like connection.
One of the things I talk about in my book is like, I think we're not going to automate playing video games because why the hell would we automate that, right? Like the whole point is to have fulfillment and fun in that interaction. So I feel like maybe the last domain that humans are going to be able to be really competitive in is going to be physical activities where we limit it to humans, and intellectual activities like video games where it's about human versus human, right? Where there's some opportunity. So like it's weird because when I was growing up, the act of spending loads of time playing games was seen as a waste. Like, oh, there's more useful things to do, but it's soon becoming that activity is like the last human thing you can do.
Yeah, I mean, also like, frankly, like I want to go to every country, for example, right? I'm a big travel guy, right? And when I'm documenting these videos and going to all these different countries and experiencing all these different things, like, I mean, that's something that an AI influencer will never be able to do because like, you can, when I watch these travel videos online, right, from a lot of my favorite YouTubers, like for example, Julian Petrulius or Iman or whoever it is that's making a blog, and like, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I want to go there. Like, and just like the way that like they're reacting to these things, it's like I want to be able to feel that for myself, and I want people around me to feel that as well. Like that'll be a feeling that like you'll never be able to get from AI.
Thinking about
I'm also not anti-AI.
No. But I think the point is where we have a gap, where we have an edge. Like I'm thinking about it, I think my job, like even as a tech CEO, I can see that job slowly being eroded, right? Like a lot of the decisions are going to feel more and more automatic until eventually it's just a little bit of judgment left. But I want to change topic a little bit and touch on the product that influencers and streamers sell. Like one thing I'm really interested in, like not in a moral judgment way, but just interested in, is some folks have, if it's like pro wrestling, some people are good guys and some people are openly bad guys, right? Like, and there's an increasing trend toward people kind of being shits. And we can think of all the names, right? And some of the most famous ones are just literally selling the idea of like, whether it's misogyny or whatever it might be. How do you feel about that? Is that something that you look at and go, these people are in my industry, but I kind of don't agree? Or is it more something where you're like, hey, it's business and there's an audience for that? And where do you think that trend is going? Like I see all the...
I need a specific example.
Well, I mean, I'd say like, let's take an Andrew Tate type character, right? Or any of the folks who are sort of following in that footsteps.
Okay.
Like I think I actually think there's a lot of good to what he says, but there's a very obvious goal to hit a specific demographic and to give them a feeling of empowerment, maybe at the expense of the most positive message.
Sure. Look, I think that there's an audience for everything. I mean, bro, at the end of the day, everybody can make their own decisions, and whoever's watching Andrew Tate, right? Like, I mean, I watched a lot of Andrew Tate too. I watch it.
I find it really.
I've also watched thousands of other people before him. So, like,
you think these cycles come and go?
I mean, ultimately, like, I make the decision of who I want to listen to.
Yeah, I like that. You're really, I mean, I guess the meme coin support as well, like, or thinking about meme coins as a legitimate trench, it's a lot about believing in choice. I think the divide in the space is exactly what you say. Do you believe people make their own choices and have their own decisions, or do you think people can't be trusted to do that, right? And I think if you don't think that, you start policing content in a more aggressive way.
Yeah.
Last point I want to touch on a little bit is platform relationships. So I'm really interested in the economic dynamics of the business that you run and the platforms themselves.
Okay.
Like, where do you feel that relationship is going? And are there particular platforms that you think are like a great place for people to start on right now? And other platforms which you think are actually really difficult to draw attention on? And like, what advice would you give someone in terms of how to navigate that?
So like, what social media platforms am I prioritizing?
Yeah.
In terms of
where you think you can grow new audiences, monetize most effectively, what type of content you think there is a gap for? Like if you were like advising 10 new people starting out who had your background, they were like programmers originally, but are now thinking about being content creators in a more general sense.
So that if I'm looking to grow my audience, I'm always focusing on like more of the short form stuff, like the TikToks, the Instagrams, the YouTube. These platforms, you can grow your platform, but it's like a low quality viewer that you're getting most of the time. I would say if you're looking to like monetize, like I guess in our industry, like CT is the most valuable place. Like most of the people who are really deep into crypto are on Twitter, and that's just like that's the platform I focus on the most. To be more of like I guess like an online persona. On these other platforms, I feel like I'm more who I really am, and then on X, I feel more like Orangie.
You have to be
Right.
because of the way the algorithm works, or you just feel it's an opportunity to try that character.
Right, like on X, I don't like really post a picture of my food, for example. But like on Instagram and TikTok, like I'll post whatever,
Yeah.
you know.
No, awesome. Like, cool. My final thing is like, if you had to start a business today or invest in one, or you were thinking about the gaps you're seeing, particularly in the crypto trenches, what do you wish existed that doesn't?
If I had money today and I wanted to
Back a business or start a new company,
I would look into like prediction markets right now because
Interesting.
like it's just the way the trend line is going. Feels like how it did at the beginning of NFTs and at the beginning of meme coins. And it's not to say that NFTs and meme coins are dead. There's still opportunity.
They're bleeding, but they're not
Yeah,
dead.
exactly. There's still opportunity in them. Like you have to always follow what everyone's talking about. You have to follow the trends, bro. And bro, like if the trend dies, you give it a shot.
Yeah, I think the thing I'm really interested in is influencer-driven prediction markets. You know, in traditional gambling, it's very common now. You have sports people who basically promote this stuff because the majority of the gambling is sports betting, right? And I think Kalshi and Polymarket have kind of gone down the road of basically becoming sports betting hubs, right? But it feels like a ton of people with audiences like yourself who actually have really interesting things going on in their lives that people might want to gamble, predict, bet on.
Yeah. And people bet on the fight between Jake.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right? And so I feel like influencers should own that. And there's a really interesting opportunity to make that happen. Is that kind of what you mean when you say predictions? Where you'd start?
No, because not everybody's an influencer. I just mean like the industry.
You mean in terms of, making money and driving towards that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, look, man, it's been really exciting to talk to you and get a glimpse into the mind of somebody who from the outside might seem like a gamer, content creator, like you're just jumping between things, but actually you're a full-on entrepreneur building a business out of your brand, out of who you are. Really compelling. Really lovely to meet you.